Hey everybody, how y'all doing out there? This is Uncle Steve on a Friday in the Friday brunch. Today's topic, Desmond Ritter. Why is he not getting his respect nationally? Oh my God. Come on, y'all. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing out there today on a Friday, July 21st? It's still hot outside, y'all. Hydrate yourself. Take care of yourself. It is burning. I went out there and walked 3 miles. Yes, I did. I walked 3 miles today, and the sweat would not stop. Take care of yourself. Make sure you are being in shade and doing what you need to do in this crazy weather. This is your Uncle Steve here on Uncle Steve's Lounge. Thank you for joining me here on this Friday in the Friday brunch. Glad to have you all in here. I am so excited to talk about the topic today because I have just seen enough discourse between fans, Falcon fans, about the level of concern we should have about the national exposure of Desmond Ritter. And again, I mean, maybe it's a social media thing. Maybe we're not. I don't know. Maybe I'm still stuck in the old school where I'm like, yeah, you worry about yours until it gets to the playoffs and things of that nature. But there seems to be this healthy debate about why Desmond Ritter is not getting his shine. If you look at most rankings, you look at most polls, you look at most things talking about him as a quarterback, I think the highest I've maybe seen is like 27, 20, 26, maybe. They even have rookies in a lot of cases higher than him. But I think my answer to that, from especially internally from a fan base, in the old words of Alfred E. Newman from the Mad Magazine, what, me worry? Why? Why are we worried about it? Why is it so important for Desmond to get this shine, which is probably a fake shine anyway from the media? It's the same media that builds up Aaron Rodgers and then ready to tear him down in the next moment. The same media that had Josh Allen as the next guy, and then last year all of a sudden they turned against him. Why did we want to put our quarterback in that particular situation? It's crazy to me. I really do feel like it's a topic that I'm really curious to hear what you all have to say. So please, if you get a chance, just talk about it in the chat. We're gonna obviously go through the chat and talk about things, but put it in there, man. I just really want to hear why it's so important for Desmond to get the national respect. I guess I'm a little old school to say, yeah, how about earning it? How about going out and really earning it? And for those of you that want to start talking about 4 games in 2022, he earned it then. Okay, slow down. But we can discuss that if you want. But I just really want to hear, especially from Falcon fans. I don't want anybody that's just, trying to troll and stuff like that. You can, I mean, listen, I talk to trolls too, so it's no big deal. But I really want to know from those of you that consider yourself a hardcore Atlanta Falcon fan, why is it so important that the media, the national media, I should say, why that they cuddle up Desmond and put him, elevate him to the top of the list? Talk to me in October about that stuff. In November, I'm right now. I just want him to succeed, and that's really been my narrative the whole time. I've talked about this several times ad nauseum. If you don't say Desmond Ridder is the top quarterback in the league, if you don't say he's the greatest quarterback since Matt Ryan or after Matt Ryan, if you don't say he's skilled and talented and smart and savvy and whatever, you're considered somewhat of a turncoat as far as your fandom is concerned, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I know some folks are triggered more than others. But it's amazing to me. So I just want to know the unusual obsession of validating Desmond Ridder as the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons and his greatness. Why is it important for the national media to say that? I want to know that. Okay, and side note, you know how I come on Friday. We always talk about a side note. And I know a lot of people have been a little interested about this subject, but I'm going there anyway, and I'll give my thoughts along the way. Carlee Russell, y'all. Thoughts? I mean, I don't know. I saw what y'all saw. Thoughts? I'm not here to judge. I don't have a heaven or hell to put anyone in. I don't, Lord knows, I don't need to throw stones. I just want to hear your thoughts, because I have some. And it's an interesting case. And a lot of the dynamics being thrown in it, from race to mental health to the judicial system to small town police, things like that, or just basically kind of, are you a bad person? I don't know. But I just want to hear your thoughts. So we're going to talk about 2 things today: the unusual obsession to validate Desmond Ridder to the national media, and we're going to throw up Carlee Russell, who I hope she has a strong constitution, because boy, oh boy, it was like, I think the moment they had that press conference about her, I know there were people on Reddit with the keyboards for these memes and everything like that. And I know a lot of people, some people are like, oh, don't be careful. But then there are some people that are like, no, she is suspect. And is she open to criticism with the facts that were laid out? I don't know. We'll see. But let's talk about it, y'all. We're sitting here in the chat. And don't forget, if y'all get a chance, please hit the like button and talk to us today. And I've already, and again, feel free, y'all. Appreciate y'all supporting the channel. I see you, graded baby. Thank you so much for the support for the channel. If you feel compelled to do that, I will absolutely jump to the front of the list, jump you to the front, and we'll talk about it. But thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. Going into the season, we're going to promote that a lot more. But I appreciate you all taking the time to listen to the channel and watch the channel and interact with your y'all make sure y'all push the like button again and tell your friends about it. all of this. So first in the chat, as usual, John Brooks in the house. What's going on, man? He says, Unc, I don't get why people have an obsession over Ritter. They act like they already went to Zales and bought a ring for him. It's fair. That's what it seems like, right? That's what it seems like. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Big John Higgins in the house. What's up, man? Steve, what's happening? No work today. If not, that's great. Oh, no, brother, I'm working. Friday, I come in here. It's kind of like my moment of zen before I go tackle work today. So I always get a chance to kind of come in, chat it up with folks, kind of to get you lubricated for the weekend so we can talk about things going into it. But yeah, just want to see how y'all feel about that. Armani's in the house. What's up, nephew? Say, I got my coffee and waffles ready. Let's do it. Yes, sir. Always, man. David Stark's in the house. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. As also my buddy Ray, who is always here. Lisa Shepherd in the house, blogging Dirty's Finest, coming to join us. Happy Falcons Friday to her. Travis in the house. He says, Desmond, this topic was made just for you. Come defend your king. Oh, man. Travis always trying to get me in trouble, man. Don't do it, man. Lisa says he's the Falcon quarterback, though. It would be weird if Falcon fans weren't defending him. I'm not saying that. Okay, make sure. Let's get the topic right. Defending him nationally. What purpose? In what? I mean, don't get me wrong. I hear you. But why is it important that he's up on these lists? Why is it important that he gets all the shine that Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrows, and those cats get? Why is it important? All that's important to me is he hands the ball off left, hands the ball off right, completes his passes, and put up W's. Until he does that on a consistent basis, the media is going to sit back and wait. They're not going to crown anybody like we want to crown. I've heard everything about how smart he is. I know he is. He's a well-spoken dude. He seems to have galvanized the locker room. I've heard teammates talk about him. I don't need anybody to validate that part. But why is it important? ESPN, they didn't do anything with him, even though Elle Duncan, who I know is a big local from here, and she had an interview with him the other day. Colin Cowherd, he dogged out Desmond Ritter. CBS online, they have him ranked number 31. Why is it important? Because in the foxhole, we shouldn't care. All I want to do is go 11-6 and get into the playoffs. Obviously, preferably 17-0. But give me 11-6, win the division. Let's get into the playoffs and then let the music play. And then we get started. We can go the route of Jalen Hurts. Nobody was putting Jalen Hurts on their top 10 list last year. Nobody was doing that. But as he progressed and as he won, then came those accolades. We can't give accolades first. Let's see what he does. And I'm anxious to see as a Falcon fan. I really am. Winston in the house. What's going on, Winston? Say Desmond Ritter is ranked as 70 on Madden. He better show up this season. Now, let me make the disclaimer. As much as I love my video games and whatever, I know that we can't sit here and, worry about the Madden, because Madden rankings are 25 geeks in a room that some of them think they know football and whatever. So I'm not going to put a lot of stock in it unless I'm in a tournament or something like that. But I feel what you're saying. David says the evaluators saw nothing special in those 4 games and are saying just that, as most of us saw nothing special. I looked at a And man, I wish I could pull it up, and I'll probably pull it up when I get my. You can't. StreamYard won't let you pull up images. I know you can share the screen, but the year going into Patrick Mahomes' first full year, he started the game at the end of the year for the Kansas City Chiefs in relief of Alex Smith. The year going into that, y'all know what his rank was? Y'all know what they ranked Patrick Mahomes the year going to after having the great game of 300 yards and looking good and all of that? Y'all know what they ranked him? They ranked him number 26. Going into the year that he took Tom Brady to the championship game, and should have won if not for an offsides by the defensive guy for Kansas City. He was ranked 26 because despite how good you looked in one game, doesn't necessarily mean that projects out to a whole season. So I don't blame people for being tepid with their thoughts. But it shouldn't be that important to me. I don't know. Tilda Love, how you doing, ma'am? Respect to you. Good morning. Good afternoon. Hope everything is going well with you. John Higgins saying hello to Brother Winston. Armani says, well, everybody wants attention. We live in a world full of attention seekers. Again, this is a real rookie season, and it's going to be growing pains. I expect Ritter to play like a rookie, truth be told. And in some cases, that might be true. Now, I will say, given what surrounded him, I think he's going to have a better season than some of the prognosticators are saying. I don't think necessarily he's going to be the 31st ranked quarterback. Some of that is a little bit of, some of that, unfortunately, is the bad Atlanta, mojo in the media, the Atlanta Falcons mojo, I should say. And a lot of folks just aren't ready to put the Falcons in that type of category. We don't get the love. We get less love than the New York teams, and neither one of them haven't done anything recently that has been great. But because, the bigger places get the bigger love. Dallas had a good year last year, but Dallas hadn't been to the Super Bowl since 4, 5, whatever it was. But because of that fan base, it's a big deal. Pittsburgh is consistent as they've been. They haven't been, in Super Bowl contention the last couple of years, but they're out there because they just, the fan base just kind of runs to that. We can't compare ourselves to that. Not until we start winning consistently. So that's why Ritter is not, that's part of the reason why he's not getting the love. The Dixon Way in the house, that's Larry and his wife, Shonda, doing their thing on the Dixon Way. Y'all make sure y'all check them out on YouTube, doing the live reactions on there. He said, we play to win the game. My wife says she just wants to win by hook or by crook. Get them W's. I agree with Shonda. I agree. We got to win. Winning will cure all of the malarkey. Winning will get all of this out of the way. Telling you. Grady Baby comes back, says, I'm not worried about the media. You shouldn't be. We shouldn't be. I think that's my biggest thing. Why? Why are we worried about that? I see another sticker in the house. That's my buddy, Rusty Moore. What's going on, brother? And thank you for supporting the channel, man. Really, I appreciate that. Ritter is an 88 speed on Madden. And my comp league, I'm in. I took 54 overall for Felipe Franks to the NFC Championship 2 years ago. Super Bowl coming this year, baby. Rusty, man. Rusty, you do. I hope everything's going well, man. You, Steph, and Aiden, man. Hope everything is going well with you guys. Oh, boy. Winston comes back and says, I could care less what the media is saying about him right now. But by the middle of the season, Ritter should have shown that he is worthy of positive media coverage. Okay, I hear you. John says, yeah, I agree. He's got to earn his top wings. Fair. Earning, man. What happened to earning? Earning is a word or a term that just isn't relevant anymore. It's not relevant. Things are just supposed to be given. You're just expected to be given. Desmond Ridder is the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, so everybody's supposed to just stop what they're doing and just elevate him to the top. I'm not talking about Atlanta Falcon fans. We obviously want him to be on top. Don't get it twisted. Hear me clearly. We want Ridder to be that guy, but it's not important what everybody else says. I could care less what Colin Cowherd says. I could care less what any other prognosticator says that's not from Atlanta. I don't. Ridder goes 1-0, it'll get a little quiet. 2-0, it'll get quieter. 3-0, Ridder start making some of the lists that everybody is so fascinated with him making. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Grady Baby says, I'm a Ridder fan before the draft, so I guess I'm biased. Lisa says, some of these statements are a bit hyperbolic. Okay, I can agree with that. Lyrics Mom Kiki in the house. What's going on, Kiki? How you doing? Said national media don't have to praise, but here's my thing. Why do the rookies get more love? Is it because of what round they were chosen? Because they haven't played 4 games? It's an absolute fair question, and it's ironic that Lisa was right behind you because she posed that question a few weeks ago. Kiki, it's an extremely unfair practice because the media has their favorites. Matter of fact, I'm looking on this list and I just want to share it with y'all. And I'm going to allude to this list in a couple of seconds too, because I just want to go here. Here we go. And this list is CBS's power. Let me make it a little bigger because I know I can't see, so I know y'all can't see. It's talking about the top quarterbacks according to CBS. So obviously you got the main people up, and I'm trying to roll down until I get to look at this. For people, Brock Purdy, number 12. I know he did a lot of good things, but 12, Justin Fields, 16, for all the trash everyone talks about him, number 12. But I wanted to get down to, here we go. This is where it should tell you guys, don't worry about what they're saying nationally. These geniuses have Bryce Young, who hasn't taken one snap over, and I'm not trying to say I love the quarterbacks below him, but listen who they're saying Bryce Young is better than already without one snap. Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jordan Love, Ryan Tannehill. Okay, and I'm not going to say the rookies and everything. Mac Jones, Baker Mayfield. I mean, honestly, how do you put them ahead of them? And Cat hasn't played one down. That's crazy. That is absolutely ridiculous. So to your point, Kiki, I have no idea. It is, but it's a little bit of bias. Bryce Young played for one of the top colleges of all time in an era where Alabama dominates, and he won the Heisman. Of course, that's going to play in. C.J. Stroud in the same way. He didn't win, a championship, but he was one of the top quarterbacks at a huge school. That stuff follows you. We want the little engine that could story with Desmond, and I hope it happens, and I want it to happen. But I'm sorry. The national media is not going to follow the engine that could story. They want to see big boys do good. They want to see the big boys from the big programs do well. That's what the narrative is. And that's what I'm trying to say. Before everybody jumps, gets pitchforks and try to go to these folks and act like what they say matters, just let it play out. Let it play out on opening day when we slap Bryce Young around a little bit and we beat the Panthers by 2 touchdowns. Let that speak. Let that be what speaks for us. Not CBS Sports. Not Colin Cowherd. Lisa says, personally, I'm not too invested in what the mainstream media says. They are just making talking points. Many are recycled thoughts and unoriginal takes. And I just want to see how things play out. And that's a great point, because just like, we as content creators here, from really, quite honestly, from the draft until now, there's really not a lot to talk about. So people make these lists and they, give these opinions and the hot takes. And the hot take is, Desmond Ridder, he hasn't really done anything. Desmond Ridder played for Cincinnati. That's a small school. Desmond Ridder was a 3rd-round pick. That's nothing. All facts. But you can't expect those guys to pick up on it. Folks are acting like they had a full-page spread on Tom Brady when he got drafted in the 6th round. This guy is going to turn out to be good. No, he had to start winning. There were people that were seriously ticked off that they didn't go back to Drew Bledsoe until Tom went on and won the Super Bowl. So you got to win. You got to win. What's going on, Kelly? How you doing, man? Good to see you on this Friday. John said, yes, sir, on the summer bond. It's hot out there to be safe. Yes, sir. Armani says, Ridder is like his nickname, the Riddler. He has a big question mark on his chest because we really don't know what he's going to do. Why would I defend someone I don't know nothing about yet on this level? Fair. He ain't proved a damn thing yet. That's why. And that's fair. Fair. Facebook users say you're spot on, but I hope Ridder balls out. That, I love this. Because I'm not bringing this up for anti-Ridder material. That's not what this is for. But it is this sea of swarming. All right, if you guys don't support Ridder and make him top 10, you're not a real Falcon fan. You don't have the sweat, guts, and whatever. And that's ridiculous. And sometimes if you listen to yourself long enough and listen to how ridiculous you sound. Why do you care about Colin Cowherd? Why do you care about some person on ESPN? Why? It shouldn't matter. I don't know. Kelly says people want the praise before the accomplishment. That's in life too, Kelly. That's not just in football. That's in life. We all do. We all see it on our jobs. We've been at our jobs. I've been at my job it'll be this year 28 years on the job. And then you see some little, stealing the words of my good friend, Big Low Country. Y'all make sure y'all check him out on his channel. Little Thundercats coming on the scene. And I'm not mad at you wanting to advance, but good grief. Give me a couple of years. And them cats coming in, just got off probation, getting on the job, and they want to be the manager. It's ridiculous. At some point. Facebook user says, we have to make sure that we don't apply unnecessary hype around Ridder's play. Like, he didn't throw any interceptions. Great point. Actually, he threw at least 4 interceptions, 3 in the New Orleans game. Fortunately, the quarterbacks were out of bounds or didn't catch the ball. Let's be careful with the narrative. I like Ridder, and I am behind him 1,000%. That's my narrative. I say it. No, Unc, you hating. You hating, Unc. You don't have the pom-poms when they say he's the 31st ranked quarterback. I could care less. Last year when the Falcons everybody was talking about how putrid their defense was, and I saw this team hold the last 6-7 opponents to under 24 points. And I'm saying, I don't care about what people are saying. I'm looking on the field. And if Mariota was too busy mugging for the camera instead of trying to complete passes, he could have, done his defense well. Q Lavender and what's going on, man? How you doing? What's the topic? As you probably can tell by now, topic is we had two topics today: the unusual obsession to validate Desmond Ridder, and again, just in case, and even though the Ridder question has kind of taken over, if y'all have any thoughts on Carlee Russell, just an interesting case, and I'm just fascinated, folks. Just fascinated. What's up, Armand? Good to see you in the house. What's going on, my brother? Facebook user says Ridder looked good at first look at the Benz, but of course that wasn't against any competition. However, he's looked a lot better. Listen, he's actually bulked up. I went to both events at the Benz, both little open practices, and I'm one of those people, and I mean this, as great as they look in calisthenics, as great as they look stretching, as great as they look running a 100-yard dash in practice, T-shirt and shorts is not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is when they start training camp and them bullets alive and teammates hitting teammates. That's when it's going to start telling. And then when you get to those joint practices, I think we got Miami this year. That's when it's going to show. So, yes, he did look good in those situations. But, you got to do your thing. Y'all make sure y'all push that like button for me. Thank you so much, especially on YouTube. Those of you on Facebook, if you don't mind, if you get a chance in your spare time, go over to YouTube for me and subscribe to the channel. I know half the time I look at subscriptions, I subscribe to them, and half the time I don't watch them. But you know what it does do? The more y'all subscribe, the more it gets my viewership up, the more it gets people to look into the channel. So I appreciate that. If y'all get a chance, please go subscribe to the channel and hit the like button for this video especially. Armani says, I was 1 month old last time Dallas won a Super Bowl. It's almost been 30 years. Again, Atlanta has been to the Super Bowl 2 times since Dallas has been to the Super Bowl. But you, as a Dallas fan, they'll seem like they just went. It's not true. Greg, what's going on, man? How you doing, sir? Make sure you put your link in the chat. Greg got them custom shoes, man. It's getting late. Getting late in the season. It'll be September. Y'all gonna see Unc in his shoes, and y'all gonna get mad. Gregory got that stuff going on, man. Y'all check him out and get your custom shoes. Leroy Knight in the house. What's going on, man? Good to see you, brother. I don't think it's obsession. What are they supposed to do? Say he can't handle it and say that he is terrible and nobody likes him? Players are being asked by the Atlanta and national media, and they are answering the questions being asked. He's the new quarterback who only got 4 games to prove himself last year. All the 7-year pros don't have to get that question asked. Why is it wrong for the players that are going to be getting the ball for him to put their trust on him by fact of what they have? Okay. All of that is great, but that wasn't the point. The point was national media. Why is it important to fans that the national media is down with them? When you say, what are they supposed to do? You do have a choice. You don't have to worry about what the national media says. Nobody was saying anything about what kind of support he was getting from his teammates. Nobody was asking that question. You probably came in a little late and jumped in. That wasn't the question at all. That wasn't even the point. But I appreciate you putting your comment down. Winston says, you touched on a great point with Mahomes showing and still being ranked at 26. Yeah, for Ridder, with his no interceptions to be ranked 32nd is showing more than the diehard Ridder fans want to speak to. I mean, and not only that, man, let's just think about it. what quarterbacks are really being talked about this offseason? We're worried about the exposure that our second-year quarterback has. What quarterbacks are actually getting the love? Pretty much the same characters. Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. I mean, you're really not hearing a lot from like a lot of folks. Like I'm looking on this list that they just had for the top 10. I guess Lamar Jackson because he had the big standoff with the team and everything. But did you really hear anything about Deshaun Watson, who they have at 10? Justin Herbert, who they have at 5? I mean, surprisingly, it's been kind of quiet with Dak Prescott, who they have at number 9. Jared Goff, 13. Geno Smith, 14. Daniel Jones, he plays in New York, so obviously he's going to get talked about. But nobody's talking about quarterbacks like that. So again, the focus I'm talking about, nobody's telling you about supporting him. So I just want to make sure that's understood what I'm saying here. Why are we obsessed that he has to have respect from the national media now? If he goes out and have a 12-5 season, then and the national media doesn't follow him, then I'll be worried about that. Brock Purdy, who came in relief of Jimmy G and led them down, of course he's going to get a little love. He's hurt now, but of course he's going to get some love because he was winning down the stretch with a loaded team, but he was winning, and that happens. Drew, true statement. What's going on, man? Thank you so much. I appreciate you popping in, man. Appreciate y'all doing that on a Friday brunch. Millie Mills in the house. I hadn't seen you in a minute. Brother, what's going on, man? Good to see you in here. And my brother Ghost Peppers, what is going on? So I don't think Ritter should be validated by the media. He'll have to validate himself based upon his level of play on the field. Here's the issue. There's rarely anyone giving him the room to earn. Gotta earn it, man. Gotta earn it. You earn it, and all will come. Facebook user says, if Ritter looked and played as well as Sam Howell played in that final Commanders game, there would be hype around Ritter. Dang, he went Sam Howell on us. Facebook user says, Purdy is overhyped, but he's a winner. He won down the stretch, and Purdy was in the NFC Championship game. I'm sorry. He overhyped, maybe. I don't know how you could be overhyped as the last person picked in the draft and taking a team, albeit loaded, but you can have a loaded team and have the wrong quarterback in there. I kind of leaning towards a little bit of this because he proved it. He went out there and won with them. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you he's the next Tom Brady or the next Peyton Manning. Not telling you that. I'm saying as far as him going on the field, they gave him the keys and he drove the car until he got hurt on championship day. Let's not pretend like that didn't happen. Overhyped is strong to me. A little strong for that. No, here we go. Berto in the house. 95 North Falcons talk show in the house. My brother who just hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. Congratulations to you, my brother. He says, oh, thank God it's Friday. National media are in constant pissing contest to be right. I pay them no mind unless it's needed. And I think that's kind of the sentiment I'm going by. Just like, who cares? In our foxhole, with our fans and with our folks that we have that you guys who listen to us, who support my brother Alberto and the rest of the content creators in our little universe and things like that. We know what we want. We want Ritter to be successful. I don't need a front page picture. I don't need what they call the little things on TV when they do the little documentary. I don't need a documentary on Ritter and his family and all of that stuff. I don't need all that. You know what I need? I need the brother to go 11-6. And I don't need him to mess it up. That's what I need. You do that, everything else will be good. Dre says, right, Unc, I don't pay attention to the national media when it comes to rankings. I do my own evaluation. And that's something that's really important, Dre. Because the one thing I love about chatting with you guys and gals, and when y'all come in, and even if I disagree, it's through your eyes. There is nothing on paper that says Colin Cowherd's eyes, and I keep going back to him because he's the one that's crapped on Desmond the most. There's nothing on that scientifically says his eyes are better than mine. He just has a platform 15 million times bigger than I do. But that doesn't mean he's right. His evaluation is going to be different than mine. Plus, I'm here. I'm not trying to say the 2 practices that I saw him live in give me expert analysis, put me in the experts analysis category. But I will say, at least I've probably seen him. Colin Cowherd ain't seen Desmond Ritter one time except on film. So that's why I say it bothers me. That's why I kind of liked in the way the L. Duncan thing she did on ESPN and shouts out to her because, that's local. That's ATL. She looking out for Des. That's the good-natured stories I want to hear. And to hear her say it, because she invested. She's up there in Connecticut holding it down for the ATL. So I love that. Millie says, Unc, I got $50 bet that Ritter has a better year than Bryce and another $50 that he has a better year than Pickett. I'm putting some faith in this boy. Listen, I'm not only do I agree with both of those bets, I'm hopefully trying to get some free time for me and the wife to head to make our little bets because I'm trying to tell you, man, I'm putting faith in the cat. Not only do I think he's going to lead us to a division championship, but I do think at the end of the day, when it's all said and done in January, he's going to be the best quarterback in the NFC South. I'm not saying Bryce Young is going to evolve into something else, but I do think it's kind of ridiculous that everybody is like, Bryce Young, oh no, he's a man. No. 21 already? Crazy. Berto says, also to be mentioned, as for great Alabama and other than Hurts, they have no history of trying out superstars at quarterback. Young is just a product of a successful program. And that's something to think about, for the longest day, Alabama and Ohio State. The moniker that they couldn't really put out great quarterbacks. And we haven't seen the full body of work from Justin Fields. He had some splashes, but is he going to be the one that breaks the Ohio State jinx? As much as Mac Jones has been okay, but has he really been great? I don't know. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's nothing in that would make you think that he's supposed to be all of a sudden this, change the way Alabama quarterbacks are going to be looked at. Not to me, at least. JJ the Great says, I could give you two I could give two you-know-whats about what the national media says, especially CBS. Those jokers ain't had a good take as a company in years. Whoop, there it is. I'm only worried about Atlanta, man. I am. Dre said you got to prove it. And it is. It's a narrative that people don't want to say. They just want to give Dez all the love and without going to do something. Now, again, I'm not saying Desmond is saying this. I'm talking about the fans. You can't sit here and just act like he's going to be the MVP And the man that spent 4 games on the field and quite honestly was okay, but not special. Now, I've seen him bulked up. He absolutely looks great. I hear his teammates talking. That's all. That's cool. He has his teammates' attention. That's all he needs. And he needs the fans behind him. I'm a fan behind him. I am a fan right behind him. Because I need him to get the job done as our quarterback. Why would I root against my quarterback knowing that we're trying to win the game? I don't know. RGA ATL for life. Happy Friday to you. What's going on? Sean Glover in the house. What is going on, my friend? So I support Ritter, but if he doesn't win consistently, there's not much I can defend him about. That's fair. Show me the part that's not fair. And I know, I mean, I'm telling y'all, there are people out there that will probably look at this title of this stream and will say, well, look at that hater. He's not running through walls for Desmond Ritter. He ought to be revoked. And half of them weren't even born when Mike Vick was here in Atlanta. And half of them wasn't even here when Deion Sanders was running up and down the field. It's crazy. But again, nephew says, well, I guess I'm not a real fan in their eyes because Ritter has to prove it to me. I'm right there with you, brother. You know where I am. There's another brother right here. Anthony, what's going on, brother? Say, bro, Steve, you are on point, and I'm so excited for my 50th year as a Falcon fan to get started. And see, Anthony knows. And Anthony has been through, and I'm saying, I'm pointing him out because he just happened to mention that. Because he and I, and a lot of you, these last 2, 3, 4, in his case, 5 decades, in my case, 5 decades. I was listening to Lisa Shepherd, who was on Out of Your Falcon Mind, John and Mike, who put down awesome content the other day. And I'm not going to tell the whole story. I want y'all to go watch the video on Out of Your Falcon Mind. But she spoke about eating this stuff up early. And her saying Steve Bartkowski was her first quarterback she saw. And I'm right there with her because I was there too in Atlanta Fulton County Stadium when these guys were putrid. And it would be ridiculous for me to throw up a fan card from 1975, 76 and then fast forward to 2023 and all of a sudden say, I don't like my quarterback. Come on now. I got news for y'all. I was rooting for Mariota last year because he was our quarterback. Come on now. JJ the Great say, I'll never understand why people keep watching all those pundits. They do in they say the same crap in every year, and people still get mad like they aren't a known product. You see it, man. Drew says, Carlee Russell is a liar, nothing to discuss. Next topic. That's a fascinating story, y'all. It's a fascinating story. It is really, really fascinating. JJ the Great says, I'm 23, turning 24 in 2 months. The Cowboys have never made it past the second round in my lifetime. They know where they could show those VHS tape reads as far as I can say, bro. Why you hitting us in the heart with the VHS? No, I'm just messing with you. You're right. Those Cowboy fans, you talk, and it just goes to show you, JJ, it's actually a really good point. Cowboy fans will have you believe that they've won more playoff games in the last decade than the Atlanta Falcons. Go look it up. Go look it up. Go look it up. Come back to me and let me know what you find, Dallas fans. Kelly said, Cincy is a small school, but they were nationally ranked. Everyone saw him. Everyone evaluated him. And the greater percentage loved his intangibles more than his actual talent. Until he provides tape that counters his college evaluations, there isn't much for us as Falcon fans to complain about. And see, when somebody puts it logically and kind of goes there, I could probably hear somebody, whether they're watching now or watching when you come on. No, Cincinnati was a big program. They were great. They played Alabama. They almost beat Georgia. He was the 4-year starter. He would have That's not what he's saying. He said what most pundits said. This is why he went in the third round. And I'm not trying to tell you a third rounder can't win. But his point is people loved his intangibles, probably his leadership, things of that nature. Because if he was all that, he would be playing in Pittsburgh, who picked the quarterback number 1. That's all that matters, y'all. So it doesn't matter what the scouting is. I just need the brother to win. I want him to win. David says, because some of the fan base wanted Lamar Jackson, and that's still stinging the ones that didn't. They're looking for validation of their not wanting Lamar. And listen, I don't want to sit here and be a fraud. I wanted Lamar Jackson as well. But the moment Lamar signed, and really right before that, because it was a couple of weeks before that where they were saying that they kind of felt like they were getting ready to work it out. The moment that they said, nah, he's getting ready to sign with Baltimore, you know what I did? I'm like, okay, cool. Ritter is our guy, then he's our guy. And I put everything I have as a fan into number 9, getting us to the promised land. For those who are still holding on to Lamar Jackson, I mean, God bless you. For those still holding on to Justin Fields, God bless you. Both choices that I wanted, but if it's gone, I can go to the what ifs. What would have what had happened? What was going to happen if? What we gotta go on. Number 9 is right now at this moment. Number 9 is the guy, and whether every national media outlet says it's not, or not even says it's not, but says he's gonna fail, I say forget them. Let's play it out. False Start in the House says, I just want to win. I just want to win, no matter what. Chuck in the house, what's going on, brother? What's good, Steve? I'm just hoping that young brother does the D thing. The situation with that little sister is just sad. Even if she gets counseling, the situation will always be brought up. It's kind of sad because I'm hoping, you know, I was talking with my wife about it, and I feel so sorry for Carlee's parents because as a parent, I'm probably going to, for the most part, support my children 100% unless they knowingly did something criminal. And, you know, even at that, I still support them as my kids. So she had them out there supporting her story. And I think the police, what they did the other day, they went out there and they said, okay, Carlee, before we get to the point where we start talking about let's charge you, here are the facts. Here are the crumbs for the Cheez-Its. Here's that the roll from the Charmin toilet paper you had. Here's that Target bag. Before they get to all of that, we're trying to give you an opportunity to come forward. And let's hope she does, because I think the longer, and maybe she's getting a lawyer and stuff, and I hope she gets to that. But I'm not buying. I know a lot of people are quick to, mental health. It's a lot of calculated thinking for somebody unstable. Not trying to say things don't happen, but some of that stuff she was thinking of it would be genius if you didn't have cameras all the way around. But I digress. Facebook user says Purdy was on a team that won. Yeah, absolutely. Philip, what's going on, man? Said we will have enough media, good or bad, mid-season. That's true. That's true. Dre says Purdy is not overhyped. He was the last pick and overachieved. That's not overhyped. That's the same way I hear people, Dre, when people say, who is that we were talking about? It was like a 4th round pick. A 4th round pick is not a bust. And let me reiterate. And since we're on the subject, if Desmond doesn't work out, and I'm hoping he does, if Desmond doesn't work out, he's not a bust. Contrary to belief, Desmond Ridder is not a bust if he doesn't work out. He's not Josh Rosen. He's not Zach Wilson. Excuse me. He's not what's turning out to be Baker Mayfield as he resurrects his career in Tampa. He's not one of those. He's somebody who's getting an opportunity. Now let's see what he does with it. And let's hope he does well. WCG in the house, what's going on? Sam Howell is more talented than Ridder, like it or not. If Howell came out a year sooner, he might have been first quarterback taken. I mean, okay. I mean, I'm not. I wish I had enough Sam Howard acumen to argue the point. You got me, bro. All I know is he plays for Washington. I will give you my best answer. Okay. Oh, man. Sean says Trey Lance didn't win in San Francisco the way Purdy did. I'm going to tell you what. Trey Lance had Desmond Ridder opportunities at the end of the 2021 season. And yes, he looked like a rookie. But I don't know, y'all. I don't know. We'll see. Pull down here. 330 in the house. What's going on, 330? Do you think that the Falcons has this offense is set up for Ridder to, if he has the intangibles to play well? I think they have surrounded him, and I'm going to give Terry and Arthur on paper, I'm giving them a lot of credit. You have 3 very quality running backs in Bijan, Tyler, and CP. And probably sometime when the season starts, they'll activate Huntley off the PUP list. If y'all haven't heard, Caleb Huntley was put on the PUP list yesterday. Doesn't mean he's not going to play at all, but it does mean right now he's not going to be out there for training camp. But when he's ready, they don't have to have a certain time during the training camp phase that he's eligible to come in. Now, I know there's something, if he starts the year on the PUP, he has to wait, I think, 4 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong about that. But, yeah, I think they set him up there. I think having Kyle Pitts come back and Jonnu Smith there to catch passes in the interior, or if he needs to. Yes, I'm still a little concerned. I know Matt Hollis can do his thing. I'm not worried about Drake's side. But they're giving him enough folks, and including re-signing and fortifying an offensive line that already was driving, bulldozing folks over with their run game. They're kind of creating a situation that I think he can succeed. So I do feel good about where they have that. Trey says Colin Cowherd still believes in Sam Darnold. Oh, man. Drew said, I knew Darnold was overhyped coming out of college. Never seen it with him. Jets, man, Jets just don't have a good record with drafting quarterbacks lately. That's why they had to go the Aaron Rodgers route. Stephen Alfred, what's going on, brother? How you doing, Astro? Good to see you in the house. Says Ritter will ball out, especially with the talent around him. And that's the point that I was just making, Steve. They've created a situation where somebody who's coming along can really not feel all the pressure. This is not a throw-first offense. So if he was put in, let's say, if he was put in Cincinnati's offense, and no disrespect to Mixon, who's a good runner, but there are a lot of passes out of that team up in Cincinnati. I'm not sure Ritter would do as well in that particular situation. But in this situation, I think he's set up very well to succeed. At least in my opinion, he is. Drew says, Matt Jones, I think, has the potential to break the Bama quarterback curse. New England did him no favors last year. Yeah, they were playing the game with him and Bailey Zappi. And I think they should have truly kind of let him get the reins. There was nothing last year that kind of wasted what's my damn name? The running back who had a really good year. What's his name? Ramon. I can't remember what his name is, but they wasted him. David says, by the way, Cowherd wanted San Francisco to take Matt Jones third overall. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Enough said. Steven says, we have young, hungry talent. And the key word there is young. And think about this. All the little 1-year contracts we signed are with pretty much older veterans. Most of the line, sans Jake Matthews, is young. Most of the defense, sans Grady and Calais, are pretty young. Most of the secondary is young. So we have a team that if we can just get a spark this year, y'all, just get this thing going in the right direction, because I'm telling you, momentum is real. These run off a game or two, a win or two, man, this could really be a special year. Really could. Tajik, what's going on, man? Tajik said, let's be honest, you want this. You like the fact that he is not getting respect because you don't believe in him anyway. So why would you care? You don't believe in him. No, Todrick, that's not the case. I told you before. And I love your passion for Ritter. So don't ever stop. And I'm messing with you my boy. But yeah, man, I don't know how else to tell you, man. And it's fine to have different ways to think. It's different. Matter of fact, I applaud the fans that are like you, that want me to put them on a pedestal and put them on my shoulders and say, he's the guy. Remember how you used to do your kids at Disney World and sometimes here at Six Flags and have them on your shoulders and they feel on top of the world. Yeah, I'm not doing that for him. He's going to have to come in and earn it. He's going to have to. So I hear you, man. You keep waving them pom-poms, though. I ain't mad at you. Chuck says, by the way, ESPN snubbed the Braves and the Dogs when the Dubs won their last chip. It was complete Cali love fest and hell with our back-to-back national check. Yeah. That's how they do, man. That's how they do. And that's the truth. Dixon Way says, our power has been out since 6 p.m. Oh, man, yesterday. Hopefully it'll be on before our stream is supposed to start. Man, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Dang, that storm came through. Hit you hard, bro. There was a little storm that came through Atlanta yesterday. I don't know. Steven says, bro, Steve Bartkowski, Alfred Jenkins, Alfred Jackson, William Andrews, Billy White Shoes Johnson, love the history. I didn't come here. I was born here. See, that's saying, and I can vouch for it. I can vouch for him and his family. Yes, he knows. He knows. ATL, born and bred. He knows. Trust me. Oh, man. Berto says, Cowboys are a storefront franchise. Wow. Oh, man. Ghost says, facts up. Thank you, Ghost. Francis, what's going on? Says, hey, Uncle Steve, I'm behind Ritter. I think he's serious as a leader, so hopefully it will show on the field in the W column. That's a very astute statement right there. I don't have a – listen, when you have Calais Campbell vouch for what he's seen so far, when you have Grady Jarrett vouch for what they've seen so far in the young man, I think that says a lot. You have veterans out there that will throw young talent under the bus. But a lot of those folks are like, yeah, he's doing his thing. He's kind of, elevating the atmosphere around the team because it starts there. And I know we talked a lot about Ritter, but I know this team success, man. I'm here to tell y'all, and y'all can come back and get me if you want to. I'm telling y'all, this defense, I think, is going to be different than what we've been looking at for the last 4-5 years. I mean that. I think this is going to be some different defensive play. Ritter, let's say that again. Say it 3 times. Ritter will take advantage of how good this defense will be. Wallace in the house. What's going on, Wallace? Good to see you, man. 330 says, you're really being as honest as a fan with decades of seniority as a fan given our history. I'm in the club with you. Decades of loyalty to the Falcon brand. Keep keeping it real. And I appreciate that. And it's not, and I don't want anybody to think, I keep, saying this. I don't want anybody to think just because I've been around longer, just because I can go back in history longer and stuff. That doesn't make me a better fan, but it probably makes me a little bit more educated fan about this franchise. And, as much as Steve was putting up the old names, Steve can also tell you the hiccups, the June Jones, the Dave Archers, the Billy Joe Tollivers, the Joey Harringtons. There are a lot of those along the lines, too, that we had to deal with. So we might not be triggered, I don't think. But I think we are just educated enough to know, okay, just because they put him down and say he's the number one guy, we are all like, okay, let's see. There are some that are like, Ritter's the number one quarterback. Yes, MVP. He's number one. Pro Bowl, All Pro. Commercials. It's not how it works. Speaking of which, I said it last week. I think it was last week or the week before. Baker Mayfield coming out of Oklahoma. Jumped out. Went to Cleveland. Won 2 games the first year. Made the playoffs next year, even though he had Nick Chubb and a pretty good defense behind him. Did his thing. 1 year. Commercials. All on the national TV. Just all the hype. And 3 years later, this is his 3rd team or 4th? Cleveland, Carolina, Rams, 4th team. And he was a number 1 overall pick. So again, it can't just happen to 3rd rounders. It can happen to 1st rounders overall. So that's why I just say, before we jump on the hype train, let's support him. Support him. Of course, I'm not going to go out there and boo the man. Of course, I'm not going to sit up here and say he's horrible because he has. I mean, what does he have? He hasn't had shown me anything that's horrible. But I would like the opportunity to see him win a couple of games before I'm ready to put him as one of the top franchise quarterbacks in Atlanta Falcons history. Can I get a little bit of that? Just a little? PJ in the house. What's up, man? Said number 9 is my guy. Let's go. I concur, brother. Winston says to the Desmonds, yes, Ritter was the second quarterback taken, but when have you seen only one quarterback taken in the first and the next not taken until the third? There is a perceived major gap between Pickett and Ritter. It's very similar to, extremely similar to the draft, and I want to say that was either 13 or 14 when E.J. Manuel was surprisingly taken over Geno Smith in that particular draft. And unfortunately, that didn't end up working out for EJ, who's a good dude. But he got drafted ahead, and Geno was in the second round. And, that kind of didn't pan out like they said either. So it's all a crapshoot when you start talking about the draft. But now he has the opportunity. Let's see what he does with it. WCG says they have had camp now, and what are you hearing from Falcon players? What a good guy Ritter is, not what kind of talent he has. That's a fair point. That is a fair point. But I will say, in defense, leadership is all that. The one thing I'll go back to, one player that I'll say in history, and that is I will go to Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie was not the perennial winner. Doug Flutie was shorter than short. He's probably Bryce Young short. But the one thing guys said that they used to love playing for him because homeboy could galvanize folks. I'm going to tell you somebody else who players just of recent, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Go to ask the players when it was, and I forgot what I was looking at, but it was when he was with Miami, right before he got hurt. And them folks say they love playing for him. Some guys have that. Some guys have it where they can galvanize other players. So that is important. I don't want to, you're absolutely right. Nobody has said about how great his strength is and how accurate he is and all of that. But it is also something for, especially veterans, to recognize that, hey, this guy could be kind of special. Dre says, I believe in my heart of hearts that Dez will prove the national media wrong. I hope so. That's the point. I hope he does. I hope he does. Drew says she would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for no damn Jesus. Oh man. Y'all are wrong. Travis says, isn't it obvious Carlee is going with a dude that her parents don't like, so she had to have a weekend rendezvous with her boo, which is interesting that you would do that at 25, but it is what it is. Wallace says, this shows that you are a true fan because you express who you would like for us to try and get. And when they didn't, you got behind Ritter and ready to ride with him as our quarterback. I mean, Wallace, I don't even know how many times I didn't thank you because that's what I am. The day that happened, Wallace, I think I actually did a stream and I told people, okay, we're not going to be able to go the Lamar Jackson route. I'm all 100% down with Desmond Ritter. Why wouldn't I be? He's our quarterback. I'm not going to let my personal thoughts on what was going on before. What good is that? That man is in another city that we probably going to have to beat if we want to get to the Super Bowl. So why would I hold out love for him? Why am I holding out love? When Justin Fields came to the Beans last year, as much as I wanted them to draft him in 2021, man, I was hoping they'd tackle the crap out of him when he came down here. I don't care about the homecoming. So, yeah, man, I appreciate that. Not a lot of people don't understand that. Armani shares a lot of sentiments in here. Who the hell is Sam Howell? Oh, man. Sky Time, what's going on, man? Sam Howell was overrated and played weak competition and folded up under pressure. Fall back on that one. Ritter took his squad to the playoffs. That's a fact. Yeah, the ACC was not exactly. I mean, yeah, I'll take the ACC over the AAC, but you kind of got a good point. Yeah, yeah. I don't even know where the Sam Howell fandom came from. Maybe that's somebody's cousin. I don't know. Maybe that's his. I don't know. I was there. If anyone could tell us more about the stats of Sam Howell. Oh, man. Steve says, seriously, get NFL Plus right and watch Sam Howell's last game. He's that good. You can see it. He went in the 5th round. He's still in the draft. I'm happy with Ritter, but if we had Howell, the confidence would be oozing from all the fans. Just saying, okay, there you go. And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't really know as much about him, but God dang it, if Steve said that's what it is, Steven, you the man. You the man, brother. I didn't know. Wallace says, you're right. If Huntley is still on the pup list when the season starts, he's going to have to wait 4 weeks until he's active play. I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. And Steve asked some more about how it says Commanders QB drafted in the same year as Ritter, but in the 5th round, he's special. You will hear about him. I'm all in with Ritter, but I recognize talent. Fair. Fair point. Rusty says AS is trying to do what the Niners do as far as the offensive scheme goes. Average quarterback who maybe can play above average if surrounded by enough weapons. Losing Evans is still scary. Remember this. And look, people can be mad about Kyle Shanahan all they want to. I still to this day, I get it, but that's another one. I'm like, yeah, he's gone, but look what he's done when he left. When he left, it's no coincidence that we kind of we made the playoffs the next year just because I think we were still living off the high of 16. But I don't think it's a coincidence that he's been to the NFC Championship, 3 times since then? So, Ramondre Stevenson, thank you, David. And I see David always looking out for me, man. David got gray hairs like me, so he know. Drew said New England had no OC last year. That's right, because they were doing the shared thing, right? With Patricia and the guys. Thank you. Thank you too, Berto. I see y'all up there. Thank y'all. Winston also comes in on the pup list. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, Dre said that storm hit a lot of people. Yeah, man, it's kind of weird because, again, full disclosure, I work up on the airport part. So, I mean, I don't know about y'all if y'all were here in the metro area. It got dark. I mean, dark for about 30, 45 minutes. But it, at least at the airport, it didn't, like really, really bad. The wind picked up for about 15, 20 minutes, but it wasn't crazy bad. So, Steven says, I think Jeff Okudah will ball out too. Bro, with Terrell Bates, etc., y'all better get ready. And let's not talk about the defensive line. We stepping up this year. So, again, everybody's focusing on Ritter, as they should, because it's the most important position in North American sports. But this defense is going to be different, y'all. And the most important person for this defense is Coach Nielsen. And I think Coach Nielsen is going to bring a different attitude to this team defensively. So as much as we definitely are worried about what Ritter's going to do, I like the fact that we got that defense kind of not a lot of people are talking about that defense. Matter of fact, I guarantee you this. National pundits are probably like, oh, it's probably the same old Falcons defense. Isn't Dean Pease still there? That's what a lot of people are probably saying. They don't even realize we probably changed to DC. They probably don't know. So, you know. Berto says, yeah, talk about, yes, sir. This defense has the right blend of guys to make noise. We haven't since 2017. I believe that. Dre says, I love Dave Archer, but he do be on his show talking like he was a Hall of Fame first pick. No, Dave Archer is probably the best option we've had up there as the color analyst since Van Note. And I used to love when Jeff Van Note was up there as well. Dave Archer is the bomb. I love what he does in the booth. But yeah, Dave is not going to be mistaken for a Hall of Famer. Dave says the 2013, I'm sorry, draft is what you're talking about. Absolutely. Yeah, Dre, you too. Yeah, that was it. Absolutely. Ghost Pepper says, how can fans not hope for the best when Ritter is working his tail off and the rewards for all concerned are so mind-blowing if he proves to be a solid top 15 quarterback or better? And listen, top 15? Dude, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if Ritter is a top 15 quarterback, we're gonna be in the NFC Championship. If Ritter is a top 15 quarterback and all of our guys stay healthy, we're gonna be in the NFC Championship. I'm just telling y'all right now, the NFC, and you gotta strike. The NFC is weak right now. I will applaud Philadelphia and San Francisco right now as two of the most talented, or the two most talented teams in the NFC. And if you threw Kansas City in the mix in the NFL, I'd say two of the three most talented in the NFL. Mahomes just takes them to a whole nother level. But other than Frisco and Philly, who are you putting your money on? Nobody in the NFC South. Are you really thinking Minnesota's going to repeat what they did last year? Green Bay? Detroit? Chicago? All those teams are in the same boat as us. Dallas, Giants, Washington? There's nothing super special about any of those teams. Nothing. Seattle, the Rams, who we almost beat at their place at the beginning of the year with their full complement of players. Arizona, the NFC is up for grabs. This is where you got to strike. That's why my optimism for the team this year is better than it has been as well. This is when that team comes out of nowhere and makes a move. That's why I think this is where you gotta get this playoffs this year, man. You got to. Lisa says, have you been watching the Fresh Cuts series? Really enjoyed that content. It's great to have players who really want to be here. Yeah, I saw Harry Douglas did a great job of hosting that. I think it was Calais, Jesse, John Abraham, and oh my God, who was on the other side? But you know, y'all seen it. Y'all know. Yeah, that was actually great. Really great. John says, I'm with Unc. I'm not putting Ritter on my shoulders saying, hey, look, he's the Tom Brady we have always wanted. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. WCG says, I can't get behind Ritter fully because I don't even think he's the best quarterback on the roster. Wow. In terms of talent and leadership, Taylor Heineke is better. Now, I'm going to say this, and I don't want this to be, misconstrued as non-support and whatever. Taylor Heineke has done some okay things. And Taylor Heineke has actually been to, albeit with a 7-9 at that time team, but he has been to the playoffs. And he's beat us twice. But I do have faith that Arthur Smith knows what he's doing in this situation. I'm also thinking if you're going to have somebody that's ready to come in for relief if things don't go well, I think that's the guy that you're going to bring in. So I can appreciate that. Dre says, that's what I'm waiting to watch, this defense. Oh, yeah. Larry says, no one cares about Lamar Jackson anymore. He is re-signed with the Ravens. DR9 is our quarterback. If he wins, he will get the praise. If he loses, we will be trading. We'll be drafting Caleb Williams, plain and simple. If we lose enough. That's the problem. That's the conundrum. I don't think this team is going to lose. I don't think we're going to lose. If Ritter stumbles and falls on his face, I think we're going to be 8-9, 9-8. I'm just that confident. I really do. And that sounds crazy, but I really think we're going to be that competitive this year. And a different level of competitive from last year. We were bless your heart competitive last year. We're like, oh, look at the Falcons. No, this year, no, we ready for action. We are. Dre says, in the NFC, what team do you see emerges as a threat that wasn't one last year? I know the sexy pick is Detroit, but they were 9-8 and whatever. Chicago spent a lot of money on some cats last year, and nobody's talking about them. I'm not telling you that they're jumping to upper echelon, but they did the same thing we did, and they had a little bit more money to spend. Don't be surprised if the Bears and Detroit, I don't even think Minnesota's going to be in that category this year. Justin Jefferson is off the chain, crazy good, but I think they're going to need a lot more. So, yeah, I look at Chicago as possibly being in Atlanta shoes, where we might be both battling for that. Oh, we didn't expect that this year. Larry, thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. I appreciate 30 people in the chat. If you're in the chat, again, as he says, and he knows how this thing works, y'all push the like button for me. I appreciate that. I've enjoyed everyone being in here doing their thing. Unfortunately, our time has come to an end because I got to go make some money at work. I appreciate all the comments, all the dialogue, whether it was, different from what I was trying to put out. I appreciate it. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, Uncle Steve's Lounge. We're getting ready to get into the Falcon season. And trust me, the content is going to be off the chain, whether it be in the stadium, whether it be out of the stadium. We're going to some away games this year. We're going to try to bring y'all the fans' perspective of what's going on with our Atlanta Falcons. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, the red and black, and how much we're going to rake through this NFC this year and do our thing. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe, be cool out there in this heat. And we'll catch y'all on the other side, man. Thank you so much. Be blessed.